What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to go over my trades. Looking at the top right, you can see I made $562 today. Looking at the year to date, we were up $14,497. So we're doing pretty well. Apple, we had 2 trades on, and I just want to review them with you. 2 trades only, and let's break down the first one. So I bought at 9:46 a.m. 1130 shares at 167.6, and I sold pretty much. This is all my sells on them. I sold them around 10:23. So I'm going to bring up Webull just because the Fidelity charts are very tough to read. So if I bring this up, it'll be easier. So let's review this first. Put this up right here. I'll make this bigger for everybody. All right, so here's Apple. Let's see here. First entry, 9:46 we bought. So we're gonna go on the 1 day. I'm gonna go over here. Webull's so good with their charting. It's so easy. So 9:46 we bought, which is right in here. And we bought 167.6. There we go. So right here we bought, and I'm just going to highlight it just so everybody can see. Just to make it a little easier for you. So right there, in this zone is where we bought. And just to go back and so you can see why I bought here, because it's not magic, it's not luck. There's a reason I'm waiting for that level. I went back on the actual 3 months here. And the reason I bought was because I was watching this level right here at 167.9. And look right here. So what I do is if I'm going to buy a fallen knife, I'm going to look for areas where there has been previous support. And this is what I'm looking for. And I saw this thin wick here. This range from 168.5 to 167.7, and that's what I was looking for. So that's, now you know why I'm entering around this 167 to 168 range. Apple at the opening bell, it's 8:50. CPI goes off at 8:30 and sells off already, just down in less than 5 minutes, down 1.91%. And I've learned the hard way that it's not worth it to trade in the pre-market when it comes to these crazy moves because you don't know what you're going to get. And if I would have bought in this area, I would have been bag holding all day or follow a stop loss. So I waited. You can see the time moving on the bottom of the screen. I waited to the bell. It went all the way here down to 168.5, popped back up to 169, and then started selling off at the opening bell. So now it's 9:46 is where I made my purchase, and I bought right down here. And I was waiting for that range in between 167 and 168. And I bought a little bit early at 160. And I told myself my stop loss is 167. So that's kind of not bad. I risked 0.6. I basically did like a 1-to-1 R, because if you look at where I sold up 0.5. And I basically was going to take a 0.5 to 0.6 loss. So that was my stop loss, 167 to make new lows. Because looking at it, I said to myself, if it breaks 167, this thing is going down to 165, which we may very well get. So anyways, we're in the trade. We got in, as you can see on the bottom here, 9:46. And here it is right here. This is where we're in this candle. I actually went all the way up. I didn't take profits, 167.85. Normally I would. That was like 25 cents. That would have been $250. But because I got this trading restriction until May 23rd, because I made a cash trade and didn't realize it, I wasn't using the limited margin in my IRA. So I'm only making one trade, or I use a different account, make one trade, and that's it. So I held it. I was up in the green, 0.25 cents, sold all the way, went down, thinking I'm going to take the stop. I'm about to take the mental stop and just cut it at 167. Didn't go there. Saved me nice 50, 60 cents loss right there, losing 700-800 today. Starts to recover. My sell as you can see on this, I sold in these three brackets here. Sold 6 shares, 136, and 1,000 shares around 1022 and 1023. So we're moving the time over, and this is where I sold, right up in here. And the reason I sold, and I probably should have held, but I just got afraid. This yellow line you see here is VWAP. So this is VWAP. So I was afraid that it was going to, reject the VWAP because it was struggling right here. It was struggling. If you look, I sold at 1023. It rejected here and sold off. It went all the way from 167.9 down to almost pretty much my cost basis of 167.69. I said to myself, I was up again. First I was up 25 cents, sold off. Then I was up literally went to 168, 40 cents. That's almost $500 gain right there. So I said, okay, I held, comes back up. And I just told myself, if it breaks below this 167.72, this area, I'm like, I have to take profits because, yeah, it's a small win. I'll only make $100. But I said, if it breaks this low, this red low right here, which as you can see was 167.7, I said, I'm going to take the loss. Almost sold right here, this indecision candle, decided to hold on. And then I sold at this candle breaking VWAP. And that's inexperience, I guess, but I just had to let it go. I should have held on to the trade. I could have got much more. I could have got a full point out of this, but I'm going to be grateful for the gains. I sold around 168.05 and I sold the rest at 168.065. And that made me $500 that made me $520 in the trade. So that's okay, but not the best because we literally had gains of 25 cents, then let it sell back down another 0.44%. And that's, when you think about that, I went from 167.85 down 70 cents. So, I mean, my cost basis obviously was at 0.6, 167.6. And then I was going to cut that loss at 167. And then, we held it and then we took the profits up here. So, not the best trade, but it was kind of a 1-to-1 R. So that's okay. I'm okay risking that. As long as you're going to follow a stop loss, it's okay. Then the other trade I made the same trade again, except this time I bought it in a different account and I bought 191 shares at 167.69 and I bought that at 11.12 and I held it for 18 minutes and sold only 20 cents up. So not like really an excellent trade there. So you will see here, 11.12 is where we made that trade. And the reason I did that is because I already bought that 167.6 and I sold where it was at VWAP at 168.056. And I said to myself, if it comes back down to 167.6, I'm going to buy that because it looks like it's forming support. And this is where I bought. You zoom in here and you'll start to see right here at 11.12, it started consolidating. And I said, you know what? I'm going to go for it. So I bought the 191 shares right in here at 11.12, held on to it for 18 minutes. And I'm sure day traders can recognize this. It feels like an eternity sometimes. And here it is. I sold at this blasting candle right here, coming up from 160, because it was just consolidating at where I bought it. I bought it at 167.69 and it was just going up and down. It went up here 20 cents, didn't sell it. I said it's going to keep going. Then it sold all the way down, only 7-8 cents below where I bought it. It was holding. I said, okay, it's a good sign. But then it was rejecting VWAP, but I sold right at VWAP. I said, you know what? I'm going to sell in this candle. And I sold right at the beginning of the candle, so I didn't even get the full blast up to 168 because I sold at 167.89. So that's okay. We still made like $530 or $40 today. Still a good gain. Added the gains to the S&P 500 long term. Nothing wrong with that. But those are my trades. And then as you can see, Apple was struggling to break VWAP. And then when it broke VWAP, it blasted through. And that's where we're at today. So those are my trades. I just want to review them with you. We're doing okay. I think we're up we reviewed earlier. We're up 14,000 on the year. So we're getting there. But this trading restriction has really got me. I can't wait until May 23rd where I can just trade with limited margin. Won't have to worry about it. But just looking at overall, I am hoping that we get more downside on Apple. I want to see this 167 break. Let's go down to 165 and let's test that support out, that 1 year support. As you can see, it's all right here, right in this area. And then it's all right over here too. So there's definitely room for Apple to die, but we have earnings coming in a few weeks in May. So I am hoping that we can get a nice pullback, because I know my Apple longs will really appreciate it. If we can get a pullback to 150, come back 10 more %, I think that's a nice swing position to go from 150 pretty much all the way back up to like 185. It's a good a good like 20% move and get back up to 185. That's what I'm looking for. So I'm hoping we get a nice sell-off here. But that was the trade for the day. I just want to review it with you guys. Made some money. And that's it. I'll talk to you guys.